But what were some of those key points where you decided, I'm not going to be that widow. I'm not going to be scared sitting in a closet. I am going to turn around and talk. Like, tell me about some of those forging moments in your
Forging
life.
moments. Well, that is a good one as far as when my husband passed away. I was very intentional about giving myself time. Now, I had never experienced anything like that at all. I just knew in me that I needed to take at least a whole year to sit down and, not even worry about what's next, not try to figure out. It was just like, let's get in a comfortable spot, sit down for a year. And then after that year, then move forward. So that was a forge moment. Another one that comes to mind is, I think I brought it up a little bit, but I didn't go into detail. The condos in Brentwood. Those condos did very, very well. And when the owner, there were some issues going on with the condo community in general, right? And he wanted to sell the condos. So I was like, well, I can't buy 6 condos at full, market price, right? Especially in Brentwood. So no, I can't do that. So it was making that decision to go ahead, shut all of those properties down. And what am I doing with this? How am I going to replace this money? That was a whole forge moment. But I did it, and I feel better about doing that.
How were you guided? Like, what helped make your decisions there?
Well, internally, again, it goes back to how was I feeling, like, as far as all of the work and all of that. So I knew I needed to scale back. So it was just, that was a major part of it. But yeah, I think it was just knowing what was best for me and trusting and having faith. That's one thing I've been doing in my business this year recently, is having more faith in God in my business and knowing that things will be okay, regardless of what happens. Because if those shut down, or if I had to shut those down, well, there's opening up a door for another opportunity, which is the hair loss stuff, which is helping more people. So it's like, okay, that's just what it is. And I would say that the final forge moment was, I sold some of my long-term rentals. I had a lot of repairs on these long-term rentals. And every year I was like, okay, I took care of that. So next year it should be better. But next year wasn't better. I just kept spending a lot of my profit from these properties, and it was going right back into it. And I don't have a problem with upkeeping the property. That's fine. But it was getting to be too much where I'm barely getting a profit now because my money's going right back into these properties. That has to change. So when I saw that the properties were no longer serving me and the purpose they were supposed to be serving, I had to go ahead and make a change. So sold 1 outright, I sold 2 under owner finance. Happy medium, I still get paid on them, So that was a forge moment as well, because that was hard to make that decision, because these were supposed to be my retirement plan. I was building up, and I finally got to this number that I was trying to get to every single month. And I'm like, I can breathe. Now I can just build on top of that. And when that all changed and I had to go right back down, that number went down. It was like, okay, but it's okay. It's all right.
So the last one is finish. So that means, like in our story, like a half-finished bridge does not get you across the river. From hearing what you've said, like, you've done a great job of finishing the tasks that you set up. So what helped you become a strong finisher?
I have just been I've always been a goal-oriented person. That's just part of my personality. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. It may be hard, but I'm going to do it. And I might fail at some things, but I did it. And if I did it and I don't like it, okay, fine. But I did it, and that's just the important part to me. You always have to take action. And if something drops in your spirit where it stays there and you really feel passionate about it, you need to at least, you owe yourself to try it at least. That's just it. And, complete it, see how you feel about it, keep moving forward if you want to. And if you don't, pivot, do something different. So
I'm a big fan of, like, action beats fear. If you're scared about something, you kind of just said it earlier on your thing. It's like, I just did it. If I was scared, I just did it.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it does make things go away, or at least it puts it in the rear view, and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad.